11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Canelo won it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
And thanks for those joining me live. Those that be joining me on the archive. D-Style here. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you like the content, hit the bell, hit notify for notifications, that is. And hit the all. That way you're notified every time D-Style comes on live. Shout out to all the HCP family. That's Hispanics causing panic. Hashtag HCP. Who's down with HCP? Everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I am just here to sound, if you want to call it an alarm, if you want to call it whatever you want to call it, it really doesn't matter to me. But I'm letting you guys know that there's going to be some changes coming. I've been telling you guys that changes will be coming to the sport of boxing. I've been telling you that changes are coming. Change is going to come. Oh, yes, there is. It's going to come. And I think so many of you out there are so stuck in your boxing bubble. You're so, like, it's the inability to think outside the box. It's unbelievable to me. And I've seen it from all aspects, from fans to boxing media. I'm seeing it in, boxing podcasters, content creators, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what the fuck we call ourselves nowadays. I just used to be a YouTuber, and now it's all you're a podcaster. I don't know, you're an influencer. I don't know, you're this, you're that. Man, I'm just a dude that talks boxing. That's it. That's all I am. That's it. I have a microphone and I talk boxing. That's all I am. Right? I'm just pretty good at it, but I just happen to be good at it, but that's not here nor there. Shout out. Let me give some shout outs here. Shout out to Jesus Nando in the building. Sonteo Media says El Dragón. That's right. LT in the building. How's it going? Salute. JC. Every time JC says something in a chat and it's controversial, right? I'll get texts from people and be like, I can't believe Ringside Reporter said that. Like, Ringside Reporter said what? And they'll quote him. Like, Ringside Reporter said that? And then, like, they'll show me a screenshot. It's fucking JC, bro. I'm like this is crazy. Jesus Sam, if TKO is a monopoly, then boxing itself is a ruler, dictatorship, divas, anarchy, etc. Marboxeo, Canelo is truly the last HBO Showtime premium cable provider. TKO taking over these scrubs. Ladies and gentlemen, like, not only do I know TKO's going to take over, I know it's not even a fight. It's not even a fight, bro. Turkey already struck a side deal with Matchroom recently. He's too, well, we'll see about that. We're going to talk about that. All right. So, piece by piece, first of all, before anything, be sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. All right. And let me play this. And this is what I've been saying, by the way. All right. Now, I haven't had a chance to do a show. With, our schedules are not matching. I'm working when Calix is free. I'm free when Calix is working, and we're both not that free that often. So, but we're I'm trying to figure that out, but we'll figure it out. But every time I've done a show with Calix and this topic comes up, like I'm telling you, everything you're about to hear, I've been saying, all of it. All right. So let's share this really quick. Shout out to Steve Kim and Mario Lopez and their podcast, the 3 Knockdown Rule podcast. All right. They recently had Dana White on. So let's play what Dana White says. And we'll go from there.
It takes Saudi money that makes no sense to put on these type of fights that people want to see. It's not sustainable. You can't do that forever. And Sheikh Turkey is obviously very passionate about the sport. He's done incredible things in a very short amount of time. But if you don't turn it into a real business, it is not sustainable. It takes Saudi money that makes no sense to put on these type of fights that people.
I can't do it. All right. I don't know why these other websites, they loop. Like you finish watching, it loops. It plays all over again. So Nando, just sit back, relax, Nando. I'm getting there, Nando. Like, let's chill. Like, I mean, Nando's already here. Like, he's already providing like counterpoints. But let me just say this: like they're taking over, whether y'all like it or not. All right, like it's they're gonna be. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not like tomorrow. That's it. Boom. Right? Like TKO is taking over boxing. That's it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen within the next few months even. It's going to be a process. All right? That's what it's going to be. In a game of chess, you have the opening, and in the opening, it never looks like there's going to be a checkmate, right? Because you're just developing the pieces, and oh, come on, it doesn't look like they're going to get a checkmate, right? In the middle game, you're attacking the queen, you're attacking the main piece, you're looking for exchange, you're looking for, you're making sure you're maintaining your pawn structure and all that, and it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere, but you're working your way there, right? I mean, TKO's literally just moved like 2 pawns, and then you got dudes like Nando out here. They ain't doing nothing. Like, what do? They move 2 pawns. That's it. Like Matthew's still moving pieces. Like, okay, we get it. I know. They just got in the game, but they're just starting to move pieces, bro. That's it. You know what Eddie Hearn didn't get? He didn't get to be promoted for Crawford Canelo. Neither did De La Hoya. He could have picked any one of those promoters. Didn't pick any of them. He picked Dana. Right? There is a means to an end. That there's an end goal here. That's what it is. You can talk about TKO sinking, right? And how the WWE is trending it. WWE is still making a lot of money, though. That's a different topic now, though. They're overpricing the tickets. They're overpricing. They paid a lot for WWE. They're not going to have to pay like that. They don't need to buy like these boxing companies like that because boxing is a different structure, right? And Saudi's already invested the money that TKO's not going to have to put in. It's a whole different animal here. It's a whole different animal. But you want to talk about sinking ships? What about the state of boxing? You should know better, Nando. You're the one that coined, Turkey as sugar daddy. You know damn well he's going to be sugar daddy for Ortiz and Ennis. You know damn well he is. I want you guys to think about the last 2 years. Think about it. Just so you know I'm not making shit up. Right? You guys use your brain. You use your minds. Don't let me influence anything right now. Let me just pose some questions to you. Just keep it real. Even if you're watching and you're hating and you hate the idea of TKO taking over and you hate Dana White, like don't worry about that right now. Just answer my questions. All the big fights we've gotten, all the undisputed fights, all the mega fights, all the super fights, every significant fight card that we've had, how many of them were Saudi cards? And I don't necessarily mean they happened in Saudi Arabia. I mean that that Riyadh season, that Turkey Al Sheikh forked up the money to make those fight cards and those fights happen. How many of them were they? Be honest with yourselves now. Oh, you're part of the show now. None thinks he's not part of the show. He's in the chat. You know what I mean? Like, you're part of the show. It is what it is. Like, you know, that's the incentive of being in this chat. Like, you're part of the show, right? Like, what do you mean? Nothing's like, I'm just in the chat. No, what do you mean? You get the full experience. All right? That's how I know I made a good point. Because like, I'm just in the chat. Like anyway. Even JC, like, getting me in trouble with the shit he says. He's still part of the show. Like, I mean, it's what it is, right? Like, what are we going to do? So, let me tell you guys something. Let me really. You already know the answer to that question. The last two, like, just think about it, right? Like, PBC had that nice little run in 2023, and then they went out of business with Showtime. They haven't been around anywhere. What has PBC been doing? Does anybody know? They're canceling pay-per-view events where Fundora allegedly hurt his hand, and nobody believes it. There's already reports coming out that we're losing money on that card. They're dragging a fucking 90-year-old Manny Pacquiao to the ring to help make events for them at this point. That's how desperate they are. What is Top Rank? The Top Rank doesn't have a TV deal right now. Top Rank is out here, right, with their cups out, asking for change. They had fucking Inoue on fucking Facebook. That's what Top Rank was doing. ESPN doesn't want anything to do with boxing. Okay, like no boxing. There's a sports network wants nothing to do with boxing. Apparently, they now renew the contract. We got PBC fighters going over to Riyadh season now after years of saying they will never leave and this, that, and the third. And Wilder went to Riyadh season to get fucked up, but he went to Riyadh season. We had you know, look at, as Nanda pointed out, look at David Benavidez. Look at Tank Davis. It's just sad. Fighting Jake Paul, bro. Tank Davis is fighting Jake Paul. And that's the state of boxing right now. That's where we are right now. Imagine where it would be if there was no Riyadh season. Just imagine that Turkey Al Sheikh was not a boxing fan, right? And just funded all these great cards that we got. Just imagine that. Where the fuck will we be? Where would Jai Opataya be right now without Riyadh season? You're paying him because I saw him do an interview where he didn't make any money for his first few fights. First 50 fights or whatever, no money for Jai Pattaya. Or 10, whatever it was. But Riyadh Season's paying him. Where would a lot of these fighters be? Like, what? We wouldn't have gotten Bivol versus Beterbiev. We wouldn't have gotten a lot of fights, guys. There's a lot of fights that we would never have seen if it wasn't for Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudis forking up the money to make them happen. It wasn't the great business of boxing, all these great promoters getting together, being a well-oiled machine, making everything happen for us. No, that system failed. That system was more than happy to lay back and receive charity from the Saudis. That system was more than happy to allow Turki Al-Sheikh to come in, and they groveled at his feet because he was making it rain on them. I saw promoters from Eddie Hearn to Oscar De La Hoya to Frank Warren, you name it, groveling at the feet, pole dancing for Turki Al-Sheikh as he made it rain. That's what they've been doing. The commissions groveling at his feet. Boxing managers groveling, all slobbering on his feet. They're in love with her. Let me just say something. Turki Al-Sheikh is making it rain. We got podcasters out here who are strong advocates for the Ali Act and protecting boxing from the evil Dana White. Like they go on their podcast and they say things like, what do we need him here? We're doing great. And we don't need to worry about making money because the Saudis don't care about making money. The shit you guys are saying. What do you mean? So you know the Saudis are not making money. So if that's the case, I don't want to hear the argument of business. I don't want to hear the argument of, it's a wild-oiled machine. We know what we're doing. Look at what we're doing. Look at like apparently not, because you're losing money. You're in the red. Turki Al-Sheikh has already admitted to Dana White, I haven't made any money with these, but I love boxing so much. I'm best friend with the Saudi prince. He lets me spend money on boxing. I love to spend money on boxing. I love boxing. I love boxing so much. I love it so very much. Boxing. I love it. Arabian Eye, like the whole thing. He loves it. Shout out to Turki Al-Sheikh. But it's created sugar daddy culture. That's what it is. That's like he treats boxing like they're all his sugar babies. And he has favorites. He'll pay favorites more because they're his favorites. And did he see Terrence Crawford come out and say, like why couldn't I talk to you? Oh, they wouldn't let me because we're best friends. We're good friends, so I couldn't negotiate with you because apparently you would give Crawford whatever he wanted. Like he's the one with the money, but apparently so they have to negotiate with guys that Turkey likes because they feel Turkey will give them whatever they want. Right? Which is already a sign, by the way. It's already a sign that if they're doing that with Crawford, like we're not going to let Turkey talk to you. We're going to do our own negotiation without Turki Al-Sheikh. Well, that means that they give a fuck about the money. There's no such thing. Read my lips. All right? Everybody cares about the money. Everybody cares about making money. Nobody's okay with losing money. All right. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a shit how much money the Saudis have. So much money they don't care. Like what are you talking about? So you think they're going to spend a limited amount of money on boxing just because? You think it's sustainable to keep doing what they're doing? Boxing not the only sport they're doing it with. And boxing, Alexander Wilson, is not even the primary source of their tourism anyway. And like, in other words, other sports get more tourism than boxing. So where on the, important scale are they going to place boxing? And the amount of money that Turkey is dropping. I don't give a shit if he grew up best friends with the Saudi prince. I don't give a it doesn't matter, bro. It's somebody going to tell me, Turkey, you're spending a little too much there. You know what I mean? It is, but it isn't, right? You will tell me that if you want to tell me that Canelo versus Crawford was cheap for one night, okay, that's fine. You can tell me that if you want, but I don't think it was. And you got to look at value. What value does it bring? How much are we paying for it? And what is it giving us in return is another thing you got to look at, right? Now, I'm not mad at the fact that the Saudis are spending money on boxing, that I've gotten great fights out of it. I've been all for it, but I'm also a realist. I also know if that's not sustainable. That's not going to last forever. It just isn't, right? And if you think they're going to be doing this for generations, you're out of your mind. And this is where TKO comes in, right? They want a model that still does all those things. They increase tourism in their country and it's cheap, but in proportion to its value. And they want all those things. But in order to do that, you have to change. You're going to have to change some things, right? Yeah, they came in like a bull in a china shop, just bulldozing everything. That's what they did. They already got all these promoters all groveling to their feet already. They're already controlling an aspect of media. They have the ring, they have the ring belt. There's already they already have this control, and they're already using the majority of these promoters as their puppets. But they're going to work their way there. It's not going to happen overnight. Eventually, yeah, that's what he spent on Crawford Canelo in one night, Alexander Wilson. He's paying Canelo more than that. So I don't know. It is what it is, but Ronaldo's playing multiple games a year, like throughout the year. It's like, I get what you're saying, but Ronaldo's also a lot more popular worldwide than these boxers. On top of that, right? So I'm just throwing that out there, right? That is a shitload of money, though. A sport that depends on charity is not a sport that's thriving, guys. That's not. You could tell me all you want. Oh, but look at what we've been doing. Yeah, because of the Saudis. And if the Saudis are going to start steering, right? And they're going to start steering towards the direction of TKO. It's not going to happen overnight. But if that's where the trajectory is going, guess what? That's where everyone's going to have to go. And you can say whatever you want. Oh, but come on. boxers, they're not going to fight for that amount of money. Let me just tell you something, man. A lot of the old guard is going away. Canelo ain't going to be around that long. Crawford's not going to be around that long. Usyk's not going to be around that long. Fury is basically 1 foot out already. AJ's not going to be around forever. Like I'm telling you right now, this new crop of talent that's coming up, I don't know what, like, you guys are talking like they have a choice. No, I want 40 million. Like, well, there's nobody's going to pay you 40 million. And you have the option of some of these boxing promoters at TKO. That's what you have to take. That's the way it is. That's the same. You can't hate Canelo that much, and now you're questioning what he's making. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like it's like not negative about Canelo, no matter what. Like I just don't like him, no matter what. Like what are we doing? Right? Like this is crazy. So anyway. No, I don't like him. He's not good. He doesn't get paid. He doesn't make nothing. He doesn't have a fan base. He has nothing. Like chill. Right? Relax, brother. He made a lot of money whether you like it or not. Like it's not my money. I don't care. But you're the one over here. Like, no, I don't believe it. Like, okay. You know, I don't think I like Ultimate Boxing Championship UBC. I don't know about that. Zuffa Boxing is whatever to me, just the name of a promotion, whatever. You know what I mean? Well, there you go. If this is true, then obviously you see the trend here. They invested a lot to get in the door, right? But if you think it's going to last forever, then you're crazy. It's not sustainable. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Well, if you think they're going to be gone sooner than later, then maybe you're right. But I don't know, man. I believe that there's going to be some major changes coming. There's going to be some growing pains with it, but I think we're going to see some big changes coming in the next 2 to 3 years. One day you're going to turn around one day and be like, "Holy shit, has the landscape changed?" Right? I'm telling you right now. With all that said, I want to finish with this. So, you know what irritates me? It irritates me when I see promoters, certain managers, people in the boxing industry complaining about Dana White and fighter pay, and I see them complaining and how they're going to expose this and expose that, and I'm gonna. It's like if somebody told me, right, "Oh, these I'm going to expose you." Like, expose what? What are you going to expose? I'm an open book, baby. You know what I mean? What are you going to expose? What, that I'm an asshole? Like I'll do it for you. I'm an asshole. All right? There you go. So what are you going to expose about Dana White? Exactly. But what about some of y'all? What about some of these promoters that I know for a fact, shell fighters, invest no money on these fighters, and as the network comes in and puts up the money, they invest nothing, right? They just play little middlemen, right? In this damn sport, they do nothing for the fighters. Managers that steal from the fighters. I mean, this is a sport of sharks, right? And they're out here sounding the alarm about another shark coming. That's what's going on right now. Give me a break. None of these people, it's like when they talk shit up about Don King, like, "Oh, Don King, he was bad." Well, I don't, from a fan's perspective, I love Don King. You see those fight cards? See the big fights he gave us? See how he promoted those fights? You see how Don King never talked down about a fighter he was promoting? He promoted them, right? Only in America, baby. And he gave us these great fight cards. Like he was giving us that type of shit. We had Julio Cesar Chavez on undercards to fucking Mike Tyson. We had Christy Martin, who made a name for herself on Mike Tyson undercards. We had world title fights on undercards. From a fan perspective, I loved it. Oh, no, but no. He was bad. Why was Don King bad? Because he didn't pay the fighters everything they were owed. Like every other fucking promoter today. Oscar De La Hoya was taken to court by Canelo and Triple G because he owed them money. He had to fork up the money. So they're still doing it today. What are you talking about? Oh, because Don King was corrupt. Oh, yeah, because these guys are squeaky clean. You think they're not corrupt, right? You think these dudes today, they're not corrupt whatsoever. It's because Don King, he took advantage of fighters. Like, you don't think managers and promoters today, you don't think that they fucking take advantage of fighters? No, because we have the Ali Act. The Ali Act doesn't do shit. It doesn't do anything. If it does, show me an example. I've been waiting weeks for the example. Because the Ali Act, it stops leagues from forming. You know, I know fighters that would actually benefit from a fucking league instead of the fucking rigged game we got today. For many fighters, it's paid to play. For many of these female fighters, and they're not fucking whoring themselves, right? Being, just covering nothing but their nipples and their clit, right? And many of them don't even get fights. So spare me. Spare me the bullshit. I'm done. I'm done with all the whining and the crying and acting like a bunch of fucking victims. What are you acting like victims about? Like, if you got it all figured out and it's all good well-oiled machine, why are you threatened by the president of the fucking league second? Since when do we need to disform a league? And that's why we create the Ali Act. And all that's like dumb bullshit, bro. Like, what are we doing? So from the way I'm seeing it, the way I look at it, bring it on. Bring it on. I know about that one, Nando's, because he was getting money from his, which he's right about. Right? I know Nando's going to be like, I'm only going to try. You're part of the show, whether you like it or not, Nando. All right? But I know about this one. WWE, when it was owned under Vince, to their credit, they did a good job of putting the line items, right, of the merch sales and the percentages, and like they broke it down, right? And so he knew what he was getting, but then he said he started getting a lot less, and they wouldn't break it down. It would just be like NWO merch, or it was like very vague. And they're trying to tell him that he didn't sell that much, so that's why he's suing. So good for him. But that doesn't mean they're not making money. That doesn't mean it's not a good business. Like I get what you're saying, but it is what it is. So, you know what I mean? Like boxers ain't selling merch, so like that. So I don't want like it is what it is. All right. I'd rather have the problem of, are they paying me my right percentage? Then we don't even sell shit. I'd rather have that problem. I'd rather have the problem is, hey, what's the percentage that fighters should get from the network deal rather than there is no network deal? Right? I'd rather have the problem of, hey, is $2 million enough for a title fight? Or, I mean, that's a little better than there are no title fights. Nobody gives a fuck about the sport. Who's carrying the sport? Let's just keep it real for a moment. Can we have a real moment? Can we be real for a moment? After the Canelo Crawford fight, I figured something out. Like, I kind of already knew it, but it confirmed it for me. The boxing world is filled with entitled, snot-nosed, elitist pieces of shit. And I'm not talking about, that's not about Nando, by the way. I'm just nothing like, whoa. Like, what I mean by that is, the ungrateful attitude of people towards Saul Canelo Alvarez and what he contributed to the sport, the ungratefulness of it was at full display. Like, it just was. The ungratefulness towards the Mexican American fan base was at full display. A fan base that has carried this sport and kept it alive in North America. Without it, it'd be gone. And when I'm hearing the Paulie Malignaggi's, the Teddy Atlas's, a lot of the people that cover the sport, right? A lot of the fans acting like, oh, finally, the super middleweight division is free. It's free, but being held captive by Canelo. Like, Canelo was so bad for super middleweight. Who gave a fuck about the super middleweight division before Canelo came around? Nobody. Nobody gave a fuck. There was four undefeated super middleweight champions. Two of them with Matchroom, two of them with PBC. They had years to fight each other. Smith and Saunders didn't fight each other. They never made the fight. Caleb Plant and Benavidez didn't fight each other. You know when Benavidez lost, he got caught with cocaine, lost the belt, gained it back. They still didn't make the fight. They were doing some other dumb fights nobody gave a fuck about. And Canelo comes around. Benavidez loses his title because he misses weight. And he beat three undefeated champions that year. He did in 9 months what just about every other fighter in the sport would take 3 years to do. Because whether it's Crawford, or whether it's Spence, you name me, I don't care what name you give me, right? If it's Usyk, if it's those motherfuckers fight once a year, so it would have taken them 3 years to do it. Did people say, you know what? Hey, good job. No. As soon as he became undisputed, oh, he's hurting the sport. He's not fighting anybody. He's not like all the whining and the crying. And to see, there's nothing wrong with being happy for Crawford for winning, or even being happy that Canelo lost. If you don't like him, that's fine. But the salivating of it. It's unbelievable to me. You don't even understand that's the last of the Mohicans. What the fuck you got now? You got nothing. Who's the next star fighter out of Mexico? You tell me. Who is it? You tell me who's the next superstar coming out of Mexico. I want to hear it. I want you to put it in the chat. Who's the next superstar coming out of Mexico? I want to know the name. Now give it to me. Now for the Teddy Atlases of the world, by the way, because I saw Teddy Atlas' stupid ass post fight, thoughts or whatever, right? And he's over here like, and he always does this shit. And people like him or whatever because he's been in the sport for a long time. And there's a lot I like about Teddy. I think he's a great historian. He knows his boxing history, and I appreciate that. But oh my God, does he have some horrible takes sometimes. Look, he literally sat there, right? And he always does this shit. And this slick ass shit doesn't get past me. Right? It doesn't get past me. Yo, I'm sorry to say to all the Mexican fans, and they're great fans. But Canelo was about to quit. Like it's like if somebody didn't quit, you don't get to say they were about to quit, or you saw quitting them, or you don't get to do that. You don't get to just like throw that out there, like if that was gonna happen, right? But he always throws in the and I love the Mexican fans, but and then he says some condescending piece of shit stuff every single time. He talks shit. He talks down to the fan base, right? Like they're dumb. Like Mexican fans are stupid. They don't know any better. But let me explain it for you how you're supposed to be thinking about this. Yo, the Mexican fans are great fans, but try to tell them that Canelo, he's a good fighter, but he just never was that good. Like whatever the fuck he says. Like fuck that dude, bro. Are you kidding me? How many dudes has Dana White, I'm sorry, Teddy Atlas washed the balls off, and we got to listen to him talk about it like nonstop, and they get fucking annihilated and destroyed. He never circles back and says, "Oh man, I was wrong about that one." Yeah. And he has a nerve to talk about scorecards, but when he scored Lomachenko versus Teofimo, a draw. I remember he couldn't stop washing the ball to Lomachenko, bro. He couldn't stop. And Lomachenko started to say didn't accomplish half what Canelo accomplished. Point blank. It is what it is. Not in the pros. He never come back and like, oh, no, I was wrong. He's got to think for Eastern Europeans, bro. He's still mad that he beat Golovkin. He never gave Canelo credit for that rematch, at least. Not even that, bro. He wouldn't even give him credit for the rematch. He came back, and I felt he beat Golovkin. If you feel Golovkin won, that's fine. But you can't ignore the fact Canelo fought really good, and you couldn't definitely argue he won the fight. But he couldn't give him credit for that, and he's been holding that grudge ever since, bro. And he's been, as Nando would say, smooth diminishing Canelo for the last fucking 6 years. Is all Teddy Atlas has been doing. That's all he's been doing, bro. That's it. And Canelo loses also. Oh, we got to question his legacy. And I respect the Mexican fans. They're great fans, but we got to question. Yeah, what about all the fighters you like, Teddy, that lost? Like Canelo's the only fighter in history that lost or what? What about all the dudes you like that lost? What about that? Ray Robinson lost to some little guys that moved up. He was middleweight champion that lost to a little dude that moved up from welterweight. That today that's 2 weight classes. Like, what are we doing? Like the fighters he likes, that he's, which I'm high on too. Like they're above it or something, right? These Mexican fans, dude, they gotta learn about Chavez. Like if Mexican fans don't know about Chavez, bro, you fucking idiot. Well, what are we doing, bro? No respect for that dude for what he's been doing lately. None. Nothing. Zero. With that said, that is my rant. A little extra Teddy Atlas shade right there, but it is what it is. But you tell me. Rafael Espinosa ain't going to be a big star, bro. I love Rafael Espinosa, but he's not going to be a star. Rafael Espinosa, he's going to be on pay-per-view. He's going to be like doing $20 million gates and everything, Jesus. You really believe that? Well, good luck. You could say this again. He got knocked out by a fucking 45-year-old, bro. What are we doing? Just because you've been in the corner of fighters that fucking quit, you don't get to say, I know what I saw and I know he was about to quit. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Tell me it's what you wanted to see happen without telling me it's what you wanted to see happen. Go ahead. Loma deal was a draw. Yeah, sure it was. What the fuck's the matter with this dude? Right? And now he's trying to give people advice on betting. Like Ted, do you guys not know about the Teddy curse? Dude's right about one fight once in a while. No, he thinks he's a guru, but like he's wrong more often than he's right. So I don't even know why the fuck anyone would take betting advice from him. Right? Decides to launch shit after getting the Crawford fight win. Right? Okay. There ain't no superstar coming, and the fan base has been carrying this fucking sport. Is getting kind of tired of carrying a sport. It's an unappreciated fan base. People talk down to the fan base. It's taken for granted. And it ain't going to be around forever. So like, either the sport needs to fix itself. It needs some answers. Because no superstar is going to bail it out now. There's no superstar to bail it out. The names I gave you, they're on their way out. It's not just Canelo. It's all of them. They're on their way out. There's not even going to be a name for you to bitch about and complain about. David Benavidez is not carrying the sport like that. Many of you don't even give a fuck about David Benavidez. You didn't give a shit about David Benavidez when he was a WBC champion and wasn't fighting Caleb Plant. You weren't calling for them to fight. You were bitching about it nonstop on your lives. You weren't calling for the fight. You were doing you didn't give a fuck about unifications. You didn't give a fuck about them putting up their O's in the line. You didn't give a shit about the division. Canelo shows up all of a sudden. You want everything done now. Canelo fights 3 times a year, 4 times a year. You don't give a fuck. 2021, the only fight fucking Palma and Aji brings up is the fucking his mandatory. Oh, he fought in mandatory then, but he won't fight in mandatory this time. But that's the only fight you're gonna bring up with a Turkish dude. Andy Yildirim's the only fight you're gonna bring up when he fought 3 undefeated world champions that year. And you're going to make a fuss about it. Fuck this boxing, these boxing pundits and these dudes out, like, they could go fuck themselves, bro. Bunch of unappreciative pieces of shits, okay, who, like, all they do is try to rage bait Mexican fight fans over to their page, and it's a few dumb ones that bite and say dumb shit. I get it, right? But that's all they're doing. Engagement farming, the only fucking fan base, right, that's carrying the fucking sport. That's it. That's what they're doing. So a lot of these promoters, by the way, and man, you just shut the fuck up about the Ali Act. When I know for a fact a lot of you been fucking abusing the shit out and breaking that Ali Act nonstop. All right? You better just quit while you're ahead. How about you just sit this one out? All right? And for the fight fans, what you should be doing is calling for the best fights. That's it. That's your concern. These fighters don't give a shit about your job and what you're making. These fighters been calling your boss, demanding you get a higher wage. These fighters ain't doing that for you. So why the fuck are you over here advocating for them to that degree? Be a fight fan and ask for the best to fight the best. I want another Don King. I want Don King-like fights. I want Don King-like you. That's what I want as a fight fan. That's what I want. All right? And that's that. Oh, no, but you don't shut the fuck up. You've been brainwashed. Be a fan. So, there we go. With that said, guys, I am out of here. Peace.